alongside all this, we're going to have gingerbread latte. Yum yum. Yes, I managed to find a pack, and I think I have about 4 left. There's 8 in a pack, and so yeah, only half of them left. So we're going to take a sip of this. It's very, very cold outside today. It's probably one of the coldest days we've had, I would think. And of course the clocks have gone back, and so it started getting darker in the evening. More coffee. So, this is a little teaser because this is a clue to my story. It is going to be called Hallows House, a Ghost Story by K.W. The names and places have been changed to protect the identities of those still alive and those who have passed on. And the keys are a clue to the story. Now, I had thought about writing a story for a while, and I have to say that I haven't written a story since I was a child, so I promise you I am absolutely not an accomplished author or anything like that. I'm absolutely an amateur. And so I moved into my house about a year ago, and it's an old house, and I thought there must be a story behind it, and there certainly was. So I've adapted it into the story of Hallows House, which I will begin on the 31st of October, Halloween. Now, it had been my intention to finish the story. Originally it was going to be quite short, and then my imagination took over and it became much longer than I'd anticipated. And as many of you know who watch my other videos, my daughter has recently been in hospital, and so I'd been hoping to get the story finished, but unfortunately it's been impossible. But I will finish it. So you will get the first part on the 31st of October. Cheers. Okay, so I'm going to move these things away, and we're going to take a look at some newspaper reports and some old journals about the history of Halloween. See you in a minute. So this is my collection of various ghost stories, and you'll see this one, The Mystery of Berkeley Square, which I have to finish, and some of them need filing away, so some of them are a bit all over the place. But what I am looking for is the section on Halloween itself. That looks interesting, the ghostly melody. magazine of general literature and art for family reading. This is from November the 2nd, 1881. And it says, Sophie overhears the plot. I think that's what it says. And you can see the moon. She's obviously in a churchyard. She has a basket over her arm and a shawl. But I don't know what the story is. But it was definitely meant for Halloween, I think. Now, so let's start with this. Okay, so this is from the Academy Journal of October the 29th, 1910. Now I'm going to have a bit of coffee before I start reading. It says, the savour of romance and superstition, which used to cling round the vigil of All Saints' Day, November the 1st, has now been well nigh dissipated. We make great concession in these busy modern times to the spirit of Christmas, but the minor festivals are allowed to pass unnoticed by the vast majority of people. Not so very many years ago, however, the celebration of All Hallows Eve was the occasion for much merriment and harmless prying into the future by means of various curious rites and interesting performances. The favourite species of divination being, of course, that which should indicate the coming spouse of the young master or mistress of the ceremonies. It is to be feared in such a case that predilection already firmly formed were frequently permitted to influence the decision of the oracle. To eat an apple in front of a mirror and comb the hair at the same time would seem rather a difficult feat to accomplish neatly, but this was one method by which the problematic husband of a lady might be inspected, as it were, on approval. His face, supposing the charm to work satisfactorily, would be perceived peering over her shoulder in the glass. One would presume the experimenter possessed excellent nerves, for a condition of success was that she should be alone. In another old-fashioned and solitary custom, the wistful one had to go unseen to a stack of barley and measure it round 3 times. On the last time, he or she would surely be caught in the shadowy embrace of the future mate, which must have been somewhat disconcerting. Nuts and apples being plentiful at this period of the year, were often in great request as accessories. To place 2 apple pips on the lids of one's eyes on Halloween, name them after 2 prospective lovers, and see or feel which dropped off first, was reckoned to be a certain way of discovering which swain will be faithful. The advantage of this spell, observes a sarcastic commentator, is that a body may help the fates along if they seem undecided by winking. Let's have some coffee. A similar result was achieved by casting 2 hazelnuts into the fire. The maiden who did this, first taking the precaution of naming them after her sweethearts, could decide by their behaviour the fate of the unsuspecting youths. The one that pops will prove hence we may conclude, doubtless, that the other will, in due course, pop the question and receive a favourable reply. The worst of these little diversions is that we are not informed what to do if both nuts pop, or if neither pops. Try again, perhaps. In Cornwall, especially in the remoter districts, where linger many pretty customs, long since forgotten by the home counties, children still keep up a festive form of divination on the nearest Saturday to Halloween. A large apple is placed beneath the pillow at night, and the dream ensuing therefrom will be of the future partner, but the fruit must be eaten in the morning before a word is spoken, or the magic refuses to act. A charm to be used in company was that of the 3 dishes, one containing clear water, one dirty water, and one being empty. A member of the assembly was blindfolded, led up to the dishes, and told to dip the left hand. If it chanced to touch the clear water, the future wife would come to the altar a maid; if the foul water, a widow; if the empty dish, there would be no wedding at all. For amusement, apples were set floating in water and snatched at by the mouth only, or an apple and a candle were tied to a stick, which was then suspended and twirled, the party's agility being tested in the endeavour to miss the candle and snap the apple. The lighting of bonfires was common to all parts of the country on this evening. In some districts of Scotland, a faggot of heath and broom was attached to the end of a long pole and carried flaring around the village, apparently with no special object save that of hilarity and jollification. But at Callander in Perthshire, where huge fires were the order of the night, the ashes were collected in the form of a circle, and every family interested cast in a stone. Whichever stone was found out of place on the following morning's inspection was an omen of death within 12 months for the person whom it represented. This is supposed to be a relic of Druid customs. The western islands of Scotland had their own way of propitiating the sea gods at this period. Each family furnished a peck of malt to be brewed into ale. A cup of this ale was then thrown into the sea by one of its members, who waded out as far as he could. After this ceremony, the people went to church and stood silent while a candle burned upon the altar. At a given signal, the flame was extinguished, and the rest of the night was devoted to singing and dancing. Many English counties had their own peculiar festivities for Halloween, but fruit and fire characterised most of them, and today the railway and the motor car have one thing to their discredit, that amid all their advantages they have despoiled the land of its village customs, inherited from ages ago, now in most instances but memories of the old inhabitant or records in the columns of curious books. Now this one is an old one. It is from Sharp's London magazine, November 1845. So this one is from 1846, I beg your pardon. October 24th, 1846. So, Halloween observances. The night of this holiday is perhaps more remarkable than any other, both on account of the extraordinary opinions popularly entertained concerning it, and the peculiar observances by which it has been and is so widely and uniformly distinguished. These notions and customs are obviously of pagan origin, for there is nothing in the next day's festival to have given rise to them. The leading idea respecting All Hallows Eve or Halloween, says an illustrator of Old English festivals, is that it is the time of all others when supernatural influences prevail. It is the night set apart for a universal walking abroad and bustling about of spirits and all sorts of beings not of this world, the night of sure divination, a time when the ideal takes the upper hand of the real everywhere. This general character of the night, he adds, escapes the notion of writers on our popular antiquities. But we know it to be that which reels in the rustic mind of Scotland. Burns says it is thought to be a night when witches, devils, and other mischief-making beings are all abroad on their painful midnight errands. Perhaps the opinion of the activity of the Prince of the Power of the Air and his agents at this time may have been suggested by the frequency of storms about All Hallows Eve. Historians have remarked how often this season has been distinguished by its tempests. In the 18th year of Henry I, All Hallow Day was attended with a fearful storm, at which we are told the people were marvellously amazed. On All Souls' Day, in the year in which Richard I was taken prisoner in Germany, the northwest side of the element appeared on fire a little before sunrise. It was on All Hallow Night, about midnight, that Cavendish was called up at Asher to let in Sir John Russell and a troop of horsemen, who were come with comfortable tidings to Cardinal Wolsey of the King's returning favour, when he tells us it rained all that night most vehemently, so that after Sir John had delivered his message from the King and given the ring, he remarked in conclusion, "And sir, I have had the sorest journey for so little away that ever I had to my remembrance." An author in 1728 observes, "This is the last day of October, and the birth of this packet is partly owing to the affair of this night. I am alone, but the servants having demanded apples, ale, and nuts, I took the opportunity of running back my own Annals of All Hallows Eve, for you ought to know, my lord, that I have been a mere adept, a most famous artist, both in the college and country, on occasion of this annale." Oh, I think I've missed a word out there. Okay. Called Nutcrack Night. Goldsmith, in his Vicar of Wakefield, relates of a farmer's family that they religiously cracked nuts on All Hallows Eve. Nuts at this season are made the means of divination in matrimonial affairs, legends that in Scotland, burning the nuts is a favourite charm. They name the lad and lass to each particular nut as they lay them in the fire, and accordingly, as they burn quietly together, or start from beside one another, the course and issue of the courtship will be. Just going to grab some more coffee. Okay. Brand relates that it is a custom in Ireland when the young women would know if their lovers are faithful to put 3 nuts upon the bars of the grates, naming the nuts after the lovers. If a nut cracks or jumps, the lover will prove unfaithful. If it begin to blaze or burn, he has a regard for the person making the trial. If the nuts named after the girl and her lover burn together, they will be married. A writer in the Gentleman's Magazine for May 1784 says he has often met with lamb's wool in Ireland, where it is a constant ingredient at a merrymaking on Holy Eve, or the evening before All Saints' Day, and it is made there by bruising roasted apples and mixing them with ale or sometimes with milk. Formerly, when the superior ranks were not too refined for these periodical meetings of jollity, white wine was frequently substituted for ale. To lamb's wool, apples and nuts are added as a necessary part of the entertainment, and the young folks amuse themselves with burning nuts in pairs on the bar of the grate or among the warm embers to which they give their name and that of their lovers, or those of their friends who are supposed to have such attachments, and from the manner of their burning and duration of the flames, etc., draw much inferences respecting the constancy or strength of their passions, as usually promote mirth and good humour. This sacrifice of nuts on All Hallows Eve is also practised in England, and it is thus prettily described by the poet